Sometimes life hits the brake before you do, and when it does, you find out if you really built for the long haul. You're now riding in the back seat with your favorite cousin, Ladiiee, aka the Highway Honey, and baby, this ain't your average podcast. We talking trucking, truth, trauma, transition, and what it really takes to find peace after the pavement. So park that pain, buckle that purpose, and pull up a seat, cause the back seat is wide open, and we got room for your story. From 18 wheels to real feels, this is your weekly dose of hustle, healing, and the highway stories. Buckle up, cousin. Let's ride. Welcome back to the Backseat with Ladiiee. Or should I say the radio show, where we don't just talk truck, we talk about life, legacy, and everything in between. Today's episode is personal. It's about heartbreak, heart surgery, and still having the heart to give. We got a special guest, a road warrior turned trainer, a content creator, a rebel, and a man who just got a second chance at life. Literally. CDL Shorty is in the building. We talk near-death moments, new beginnings, FMCSA rules and regulations, and why being a trainer just might be the most powerful seat in the game. So buckle up and get ready, cousin, because this is about to get juicy.
Dial it up, static fades, real talk in the waves, backseat confessions, life's messy but it plays. Lady Luck spinning beats hot like
Welcome back to the Backseat with Ladiiee, where the hustle meets healing and the road always tells the realest story. Today, we got one of the rawest voices in the game. He went from grinding in the mud to ripping through lanes in 18 wheels of ambition. This ain't just a driver. This is a builder, a brand, a rebel, a blueprint. So buckle up, gang, and lean in. Because my guest today is the one and only CDL Shorty. And we talking real life pace, late nights, FMCSA scores, rules and regulations, and what it really takes to build something from scratch in this industry. Please welcome my guest, CDL Shorty. What's up, CDL Shorty? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. What's going on? What's going on, Honey Tribe?
Yeah. You know we got the Honey Tribe in the mix. You
Oh yeah.
are one of the special guests because you kind of like shake up some things in the industry. So I know a lot of people want to hear your side, your story, why you are how you are, and why you represent the community the way that you are. So I want to show much gratitude for you being a guest on my channel, on my show.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, this is an honor. I'm honored to have you here.
Thank you. No, honestly, it's an honor for me as well. I just appreciate your time. I appreciate you inviting me on here. Trust me, I take everything as a blessing. And your base, the Honey Tribe, what you have going on is amazing as well. So I also want to give you,
Thank you.
your flowers as well.
Oh, look at him being all sweet and stuff. That's what's up. So we do have three questions for you. Let's just dive right in. We ain't gonna waste no time. So my first question is, first off, let's talk life after everything you've been through. From trucking to getting a new heart, how has your mindset shifted about the industry and your own purpose in it?
Mm, good question. Good question. First of all, uh, my mindset and my vision comes from the fact that I did have a near-death experience. I had a heart attack in 2019, or at the beginning of 2020,
Okay.
well, March of 2020 rather,
Okay.
um, at the pilot right off of I-20 in West Monroe, Louisiana.
Oh wow.
I had a heart attack there. I was pronounced dead. They brought me back to life. They revived me, brought me back to life.
Wow.
And as far as I knew, my trucking career was over with at that time. They were throwing out words like pacemaker, a life vest. Um, really wasn't talking about heart transplant just yet. That came later on down the line.
Hmm.
But, that was a scary situation that I was going through. So
I
the
bet.
company I was driving for at the time, of course, they wouldn't let me get back in the truck because I checked myself out the hospital because no way was I going to have heart surgery on the road in Louisiana, and I don't know anybody in Louisiana. I'm literally just passing through.
Wow. So you had a
So
heart attack while you were on the road?
yeah, I did. I did. I
Wow.
had a heart attack while I was on the road. I literally just got back from Houston, Texas. Um, didn't feel pretty good. I pulled off. I pulled off, pulled into a truck stop, and had the heart attack right there at the
Damn.
fuel house.
Damn.
And there's another truck driver that I don't know if I know it's a guy,
Hmm.
but I don't know if this person is black, white, purple, or blue.
Okay.
But the people in the ambulance that brought me back, they told me that another truck driver saw it, called it in, and saved my life.
Damn. Shouts out to that driver. You are literally my second guest that had something traumatic happen with them in about their health while they were under a load. That's crazy. That's scary too.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I think I did turn in and I listened to that episode. I think you had Prince on your guest was
Yes.
Prince.
Yes, it was Prince. He
Yeah,
yeah, he had a amputated limb, either foot or leg. I think it was his foot if I can recall. Shouts out to Prince as well, but he was under a load as well when he experienced this health issue as well, which is crazy. That's crazy how important health is, and a lot of drivers don't take their health into consideration, but it's like a real thing.
yes, yes. You're correct. You're right. First of all, shout out Prince because me and Prince we actually met through a mutual friend. Me and
Okay.
him are friends.
Okay.
And shout out to him because during my time that I was going through my heart transplant last year.
Okay.
When I was in ICU, me and Prince talked on the phone quite a bit, and he used to give me inspirational words. We used
Nice.
to talk a lot, laugh a lot. So that
Nice.
is a good man, a good friend, and a good trucker.
Indeed, he is. That's my guy. Shouts out to Prince, by the way. So, how did that like change your mindset as far as the industry and your purpose in the industry?
Well, it changed my mindset because I wanted to start talking about the real things, the behind the scenes, the pull the curtain back on the Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz, if you will.
Yeah.
I realized that dispatch, when I had my heart attack,
Uh-huh.
dispatch didn't care.
Nope.
They cared about me not driving a truck because they didn't want me to have an accident and raise their CSA scores, but they didn't care about my health. They didn't even go as far to ask me, "Oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong?"
Wow.
They told me point blank period, "Oh, we're sorry to hear that, but if you don't have a doctor's note, you can't come back to work, and we'll get you a lift back to the truck stop, pack a bag, and then we'll get you a Greyhound back to the terminal."
Oh no.
Um, so yeah, they went as far as that, and that really kind of shaped my vision to where I am today because
Hmm.
I've really seen and I felt like we were used, and we
Yeah.
still are used.
Yeah.
I've seen that there's not any driver advocates, at
Hmm.
least at the time that I started,
When did you?
out there advocating for the drivers. So I took it upon myself to, I don't want to beat around the bush. I
Uh-huh.
feel like you got to have a shock factor with what I do,
Hmm.
and you got to make people pay attention and let them know that they're not playing around. So
Exactly.
I took it as far as to, hey, we're about to get in here, we're about to call these people out, we're going to do it with a strong arm,
Hmm.
and we're going to get some results. And we're going to let drivers know that we care about you. There's somebody out there that cares about you.
Hmm.
I've been a driver, so I
Hmm.
can relate.
Hmm.
And we're going to come out with an organization to help bring more notoriety to drivers' health.
Hmm.
We're going to help try to change FMCSA's mindset when it comes to the DOT physicals
Yes.
and things of that nature.
Hmm.
But we're also going to hold truckers accountable as well as companies because me as a trucker, one of the ways I got myself in this situation was the DOT has stopped me from a medical card,
Hmm.
but then I went to another DOT doctor
Hmm.
and he granted me a medical card, but he told me my blood pressure was high.
Hmm.
But me as a trucker, I didn't take it serious. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, just do my medical card, let me get on my road.
Yeah.
But DOT doctors charge $100 per pop for these medical cards
Yep.
just to give you a small little physical and send you about the way.
Yep.
And I don't think that's fair either.
I agree. I definitely agree. I don't you follow my YouTube channel, so you are aware of my movement and the things that I represent. I'm kind of like you. I'm the voice of the trucking industry, just the female version. I'm raw with it. I'm uncut. There's no filter. So for me, I catch a lot of shade because I speak about the things that they don't teach you in orientation. You know, you get fed a lot of lies in orientation. You get fed a lot of lies in the industry alone. So it's like I shed light on the real, as you would
Right.
say. You know, so it's like I can definitely relate to that. And I practice teaching, like, the ins and the outs, mental health, your physical health. A lot of people chase these lows, and it's like you got to stop and ask yourself sometimes, like, how many doctor's appointments have you missed chasing a low? Like, and this could be crucial to your life, which you take lightly. Trucking is a whole beast by itself. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode. We'll save it for later. But yes, I can agree with you on the things that you spoke on. So let's jump into our next question, which is, now that you're a trainer, on the training side, what's the biggest mistake you see new drivers make before they even touch the road?
Once again, good question. Very great question. So I started training in the end of 2021
Okay.
and fell in love for it, instant passion. Um, but what I see now coming from the trucking school side of things, I see a lot of truckers or a lot of new age drivers, unrealistic expectations, number one. Number two, backgrounds.
Mhm.
Backgrounds is already messed up as far as tickets and things
Mhm.
of that nature.
Mhm.
Even have some that come in and they don't take it serious and not realize that when they get that permit,
Mhm.
you actually have a CDL permit now. It's not a regular driver's license
Right.
anymore. And they'll go out on the weekend and drink or party or, you know, partake in some extracurricular activities. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, they get drug tested randomly. And now they're part of the SPAC program before they even started their career. We've had
Mm.
that happen a few years ago. So,
Wow.
I just like to try to tell a lot of them, why did you get into, I ask a lot of them, why did you get into it?
Mhm.
What are you looking to get out of it?
Mhm.
These are the type of questions you need to ask these companies, these recruiters,
Mhm.
as far as pay, as far as how long you're going to be out, how fast are the trucks governed, because if the truck is governed at 65, and guess what? You're going to be on that pedal all day
Yep.
trying to get nowhere fast.
Yep.
Um, Yeah, so I asked them a lot of things: health benefits, um, per diem. Not understanding that you go to a mega carrier. Getting the per diem is good, but the per
Mhm.
diem is actually a tax to them. That's
Yes.
why they push it so much. So
Yes.
I try to just make them aware of a
Yeah.
lot of things,
Yeah.
um, so they don't mess up their career before they get into
Right. That's funny you brought that up because I actually learned the true meaning behind per diem when it comes to trucking when I was with Martin. A driver that was driving for Martin actually broke it down for me and told me that Martin gets a tax write off for every driver for the per diem every what year or something like that. And I thought that kind of blew my mind. It was like, when you
it.
hear it, you get excited, like, okay, yeah, they pay me per diem. They give me, this amount for meals and this and that for the day. But really, you can sign your own. That's something that you can sign up on your own taxes. But when you hear
That's
that,
right.
they psych you. The industry is full of shit, in my opinion. You gotta know your
Yeah,
shit. You really gotta know your shit when you in this game, because it's a lot of trickery and wordplay is crazy. But yeah, a Martin driver
that's
told me about, broke that down to me, and I was amazed.
That's right. You're absolutely right. And to capitalize on what you just said, you really have to know your things. That's why I like to study. I study this
Mhm.
industry as much as I can, day
Mhm.
in, day out. And
Mhm.
I watch a lot of other, YouTube content creators as well,
Mhm.
because I like to see who is like minded, like me and
Yes.
you, who's willing to stand up and fight for things.
Yes.
And if one other YouTube content creator, now I'm on your platform. Is it okay to name drop
Go
somebody
ahead,
up
do
out of
your
the
thing.
way?
Just don't be messy.
No, no, not gonna be that at
Okay.
all. I respect I
Okay.
respect the platform, but this other YouTube content creator, shout out to Tasia Woods. She
Okay.
actually just brought this to my attention,
Okay.
about the forced arbitration clauses that are in contracts with these mega carriers whenever you do lease purchase. Back
Okay.
in 2019, for the truck that they're
Mm,
not supposed to.
mhm,
Guess what? Under that federal arbitration act, they cannot legally do that. But
mm,
a lot of drivers don't know that, and she actually stood up and
mhm.
is fighting for that right now. So I want to say
Wow.
big shout out to her,
Okay.
and let's continue to stand up and bring awareness.
Nice, nice. That's something that you brought to my attention. I didn't know that either. This is this, well, let me just do a little backstory and we'll move on to the next question. But, and this is in reference to what you just spoke about. I was with two leasing companies. The first one was Western Express, aka Welfare Express. I leased with them for 7 months and I lost a total of a little over 20 grand with them. Now, you know how they tell you, um, you got the escrow account, and if you return their equipment back in one piece, they give you everything that you have in your escrow account back. Well, long story short, I turned in the truck, did everything right. I lost over $6,500 in my escrow account. I did not get 1 cent back. They found a way to calculate all of this stuff, and it came up to 6,500 and some change, all the way down to the cent, to the penny. I didn't get 1 penny back out of that escrow account, and I did everything right. Moving on to the next company, R.E. Garrison. I leased with them as well. Stupid decision, but it is what it is. Did the same thing. I wasn't there with them as long. I was only with them for about a month. I want to say I racked up
Mm-hmm.
about 2,500 in that escrow account, and um I am still getting with them invoices to this day about stuff that was wrong with
Mm-hmm.
that truck. I only had it for 1 month. They broke down every little piece of something that was wrong with that truck and they charged me for it. I know I got to be past $2,000 at this point, and I only had this truck for a month, and I didn't get
Wow,
a penny back from that either.
wow, that's crazy. And then I sit there and scratch my head when I see Mr. Chris Spear, the spokesman of the American Truckers Association, which is the spokesman for all mega carriers out there, get on Capitol Hill
Hmm.
a couple of weeks ago, actually last week, actually, and
Okay.
lie and continue to push the narrative that there's a trucker shortage. Now, the truckers, the turnover rate from 2022 was at 91%. Now, fast forward to 2025, at the end of 2024, they calculated to be 94%. But
Okay.
these companies are not treating drivers right. They're not treating truckers right.
I
They
agree.
care more about that dispatcher and their
Yes.
fleet manager
Yes.
than they do us. And I
Yes.
don't like that. And I'm standing up and I'm fighting for that.
Now
But I need
listen.
people like you, Asia Wood. I need people that's willing to stand up
Hmm. Hmm.
and fight and bring awareness.
Hmm.
Um, just the other day, somebody called me Malcolm X, the trucker. If Malcolm X was driving a truck, that was me.
Oh
I
Lord.
was flattered by it because that's what I really want to be known as. I
Yeah.
really do because
Yeah.
I love the drivers. I stand up for the drivers, and
Yeah.
just because I went through that heart attack and I was treated so bad,
Yeah.
that's what got me on my future path.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And sometimes, you want to, what's the little saying? You want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. You might have
Correct.
something planned, and then he'll shake up your world, and then take you on a whole nother route that you didn't even expect. And in reference to something else that you just mentioned, which you spoke about how the industry cares more about their dispatchers, their the people who sit behind a desk and punch a keyboard all day. They do. And I'm going to speak on experience as well. When I was with Welfare Express, I cannot make this up. You can go down my timeline on my YouTube channel and you can check out the videos. I did videos on the terminals that I went to for Western Express, aka Welfare Express, and their main domicile, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. I went from the front to the driver's lounge to the back where dispatch and the keyboard typers sit. I'm talking about when you go to the driver's lounge, it's like crackhead central. It's worse than being in jail. You, and if I'm lying, I'm flying. You could go through that my videos and see how bad the driver's lounges is. And then when you get to the back, man, them fleet managers and dispatch, they got basketball courts, sauna rooms, the walls is clean, clean linens. Man, I'm talking about gym. I mean, the AC work great. There's no bugs flying around. I literally was amazed. Like, What the hell is it? Was like being in a twilight zone, seeing how well the dispatchers was treated. And then you look at the drivers, it's like without the drivers, you won't have a company. How the hell is they living better than the drivers? This shit blew my mind. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I still can't wrap my brain around it. But yes, the industry does cater to the keyboard typers more than the people who actually is the muscle behind the company. Without a driver, you won't
Yep,
have a company, just period. And I think they
correct.
missed that memo.
Correct, correct. And just to capitalize on that, you want to know what's really funny? Some of these companies out here, if not many, don't even pay their dispatchers that well. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
when you look at the terminals and all of the amenities for the
Mhm.
dispatcher, you
Mhm.
have to sit back and you have to ask yourself, how does trucking companies make money? They make money off Wall Street investors and
Mhm.
of course freight and things of that nature, right?
Mhm.
But they put the money back into the company terminal. That's why you
Mhm.
see Prime. Prime is one of the biggest out there, but they got basketball courts. They got
Uh,
all this five-star amenities, and the truck got cameras on it and all this.
mhm.
And you have to sit back and ask yourself, wait a minute.
Mhm.
I know y'all ain't getting paid that much off of freight and investors. And if you guys are getting paid that much off freight and investors, how come you're not really paying your drivers that
Mhm.
well?
Mhm.
How come when you pull back that curtain on that dispatcher, they're not really getting paid that well? Where
Mhm.
is this money going to? So now I'm on the path to asking the question, is
Mhm.
it capitalism and corporate greed? Because
Mhm.
what is it? I found out that a lot of these companies out here have a fund, a company vacation fund, where at the end of the month, if they met a certain amount of revenue, sales and whatnot,
Mhm.
they'll hold a company vacation, a destiny
Wow.
company vacation. And
Wow.
you and I are not allowed under a law called FLSA, are not allowed to be paid overtime as a
Oh.
trucker. Back in the 1966, it was passed.
Wow.
And we don't get no overtime. That's a trucker, that's a trucker's helper. There's people that deliver like Coca-Cola and stuff like that do
Mhm.
LTL and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm actually trying to bring more awareness and fight for that because at the end of the day, like you said, without that driver, I don't care how many keyboards you got. Let me
Listen.
see a keyboard drive from straight from point A to point B.
Listen. I'm telling you, that's not an understatement either.
Right.
All right, so let's jump into the last question that I have. You've always been tapped in with the FMCSA rules and updates. What's one change or policy drivers need to know right now, but probably don't know?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I just kind of tapped on it right now.
Okay.
The overtime, exception. Or when you say overtime, you think, okay, I just worked my shift. I just worked my X amount of hours that
Mhm.
I can legally work now overtime. So overtime is anything over 40 hours a week, which obviously we run a 70-hour clock plus recap.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that they're getting over, and they're getting over quietly. OIDA actually had their foot on their neck
Mhm.
back in 2023, and they actually got the government and Senate to actually listen.
Mhm.
But then they took their foot off their neck, and now
Okay.
we're back at 2025, and they're actually rediscussing it, but still no hit,
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I really want to fight for and bring forward because we need high driver wages.
Mhm.
We have autonomous vehicles coming. They're 10, 15, 20 years down the line. They're
Mhm.
coming.
Yeah.
And I want drivers aware that there's a company out there called Aurora that
Okay.
actually is against putting a driver in the truck. But they have a huge investor called Packard. And Packard just made them, as of this past May,
Okay.
made them put a safety driver, which is a human, in that truck. And
Okay.
I just want to make truckers aware of, all the rules and regulations of FMCSA. They just
Mhm.
revised a whole bunch of things back in late April, speed limiters, things of that nature
Okay.
that you need to be aware of. And just be vigilant. Get your little green handbook. You can go on
Mhm.
to fmcsa.com and look those things up as well. And just stay knowledgeable and vigilant.
Mhm. CDL. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay. Kind of bleeped out. Were you done? Because it kind of like stopped.
Oh, yes, yes, I was done.
Okay, okay. Now, I know I had three questions, for you, but I do have some wild card questions because you are kind of like a rebel in the industry. So I want to jump into another FMCSA question. You probably already brushed up on it, but let's see if you feel differently. So with FMCSA cracking down heavy, what's one rule or regulation you think they're dead serious about now that drivers still keep playing with? And what's the real consequences when they finally catch up to you?
English proficiency right now.
Okay.
I have different views on proficiency
Okay.
regulation that's going on. I'm not really going to get into it because it is controversial. It does rub a lot of people the
Yes.
wrong way and ruffle a lot of feathers.
Yes.
But with the English proficiency, this administration is not playing around.
Right.
This new head of FMCSA, Mr. Sean Duffy, they're not playing around.
Hmm.
I hate it. Trust me, I really do. And I
Hmm.
actually have a segment on my channel saying, "Is the ATU American Truckers United? Did they introduce fascism into the trucking industry?" But the English proficiency, they're not playing around. And
Hmm.
so, we're starting to see numbers actually go up in high amounts
Hmm.
across America. Wyoming being number one and putting drivers out of service, or not out of service, but giving tickets, citations, and things of that nature
Hmm.
to drivers that can't pass the ELP test.
Okay.
Also down in Georgia as well, they're starting to get strict on it as well. So, that's one thing. And the brokers are actually starting to feel it because we all know mega carriers don't really use undocumented workers and things like
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
or have H-2 visas or H-1 visas.
Hmm.
But the brokers that are on the stock market, they use a lot of small mom and pop companies and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
now the brokers are starting to feel it, which I personally think is a good thing because brokers have taken advantage of truckers for way too long.
Oh yeah.
But the English proficiency, that's one thing that's starting to really crack down.
Yeah. I did see a news article. Don't quote me, but I did see a news article about, I want to say, Mexico drivers coming across the border, about the English thing situation with Trump, how they were offering classes for over 20,000 drivers over there to learn English. I thought that was pretty interesting in order to keep sustain their CDL. This was maybe a couple of weeks ago
Yeah.
when I saw that. Did you hear about that?
No, I haven't heard about it, but in this new legislation in trucking, border towns is what they're called,
Hmm.
like Laredo, Eagle
Hmm.
Pass, Texas, even some of the border towns along California and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They're exempt. They
Oh,
can't be put out of service because
okay.
it's a border town.
Okay.
Yeah, but they can get stopped and get a citation for it, but they cannot be put out of service. They're actually exempt.
All right. That's good to know. That's definitely good to know. So, my next question would be, you built a name in the industry for being unapologetically loud and calling out the bullshit. Do you ever feel pressure to tone it down, or is being a disruptor exactly what trucking needs right now?
That's a real good question. To be honest with you, yes, I get a lot of pressure. I get a lot of pressure from friends, um, associates, people that I've even met before that don't really know me, but then they get to know me through my content, and next thing you know, they don't want any association with me and things of
Mm,
that nature. It can be discouraging at times, but I know that I'm on a mission. And I
yeah,
have a mission to not only do, but I have a mission to complete. I'm going to do it to my best ability, and I'm
okay.
never going to stop doing it.
I know that's right.
Plus, it brings me joy to know that my subscribers reach out to me and say, "Hey, CDL Shorty, I appreciate you talking about that because guess what? I went through the same thing with that company, or I went
Hmm.
through the same thing with that dispatcher, or I
Hmm.
went through the same thing with that trucking guru or whatnot."
Yeah,
So that's what I do it for. I do it for the small people that actually have been hurt by all of these people I just named.
yeah.
I do it for them. And that's
Nice,
what makes me smile. That's what brings joy to my heart.
nice.
And I do feel like, to answer the second part of your question, I do feel like at this time, going, beating around the bush, going at it like, kind of timid and whatnot. That's not what we're going to. We need a stop factor.
Yeah.
And me, I'm going to stand on what I stand on. I'm going to stand for what I stand for. And like I always say, in the great words of FMC, if you feel like I'm wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
And guess what? A fight go with that. So
Okay.
I stand for what I stand for.
Okay.
And if you look at my content, what am I doing wrong but calling out the BS? I've never talked about anybody's family. I never talked about anybody personally. I just call out the BS that is actually hurting you.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that friend that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So, that's fair enough. So, last but not least, I think you're going to like this one. If you had the mic in front of every FMCSA official, mega carrier, CEO, and lazy ass driver all at once, what's one message you'll scream into the CB with zero filter? Good one. I knew you would like this one.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they call that's spicy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, the FMCSA I would just say be fair.
Yeah.
Treat us fair. Treat us fair. That's all we want is fair. Stop turning a blind eye. Stop lying. They call it trickle down economics. We all know that Trump just, gave all businesses that made over or that grossed over $410,000 or $1 million right now. He just gave them a big tax break. Now, the trickle down economics is some of that money is supposed to trickle down to the drivers, and for some reason, it's dried up when it comes to the drivers. So just be fair.
Yeah.
And stop lying.
Yeah.
To drivers out there, I would like to say be vigilant, stay knowledgeable, and also take accountability. One thing I've learned with the stance that I've taken is we also have some lazy ass drivers out there too. We have some bad drivers.
We do.
Yeah. And for those drivers, like I said, take accountability. Nobody owes you nothing, but you need to work and you need to earn everything. And for these companies, drivers, stop saying that this company pays me good. No, they pay you what you earn. Denzel Washington has a famous line in the movie Fences. He says, Mr. Rand down at the warehouse doesn't pay you because he likes you. He pay you because you earned it. So drivers, you need to stop getting it confused. Oh, this company pays me good. No, earn that pay. Know your worth. Know your self-worth. Stop taking cheap freight. We need to talk about deregulation. Educate ourselves on deregulation.
Yes.
Know your cost per mile if you're on an operator.
Yes.
And just stop being a victim. Take your power back. That's what I always say. Take your power back.
Nice. Cousin, you didn't just speak to me today. You spoke to a whole community that needed that. Thank you for showing up with honesty, with heart, and with the kind of strength that don't always get celebrated. The road may change, but your impact is the impact that keeps rolling. Go ahead and share with the folks to connect with you and follow your journey. Where can they find you at?
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram at A V as in Victor Jackson 28. You can find me on YouTube at CDL Shorty 74. And Gmail AJ AV as in Victor Jackson 89.
All right, cousin, you keep doing your thing, keep leading by example, and keep changing the game in trucking. That's it for CDL Shorty. Till next time, 10-4, cousin. Let's get into some of these FMCSA rules that gets folks jammed up, especially the ones that swear they understood until DOT pull that ass over. The Drug and Alcohol Clearance House. So many drivers think it's just a test, but failures get reported too immediately and stays on your record. Even refusing a test equals automatic violation. PC. better known as personal conveyance. This is a huge one. Drivers often misuse PC, which in result causes many issues in the game. Not just for the driver, but also for the carrier. You should only be using PC when you are doing something personal for yourself, such as going grocery shopping, doing laundry, taking a shower, etc. Okay, let's move on to ELD edits. People think that they can just fix a law, but unauthorized edits equal red flag. FMCSA tracks every edit and who logs them. Listen, cousin, the ELD are snitches. They log everything, even what you thought you deleted. Keep playing, and one day you'll be hauling regret. Here's a few tips for drivers trying to stay compliant. For the new drivers out here trying to get it right, always do a full pre-trip and post-trip and document any issues. Keep a copy of your medical card on hand or upload it. Learn how to annotate logs properly if you make a mistake. Never assume that the company has your back. Know your record. When you are new to the game, you are so hyped just to drive, and you forget that this is also a paperwork game. Stay on top of your logs. Learn how to annotate and read every line of that driver manual like your check depends on it, because it do. Okay, here's one. What veteran drivers need to unlearn? All right, my OGs. This part is for y'all. What is one old school habit or mindset that gotta go? I don't need to know all that rule stuff. I just drive. Dead wrong. Skipping ELD log edits or relying on dispatch to fix your logs? That's a no-no. Taking shortcuts with inspections or ignoring safety alerts and not adapting to tech. It's a new day and age, baby. The days of paper logs no longer exist unless technology fails, which can happen at any given moment. Paper logs are those things of the past. The new regulations are digital, not analog. No more unplugging the ELD box. Can't get away with that anymore either. This ain't the CB days no more. You can't outdrive a violation. You gotta outsmart it. That's how you stay legal. Get paid and keep your CDL clean. It's hard as hell to get them CDLs, but it's super easy to lose them. One of the most dangerous things in trucking is a comfortable driver who stopped learning. Here's an old saying that they used to say back in the day. The moment you feel comfortable enough to think that there's no more learning, you done learned everything, saw everything, that's the moment you need to step away from the truck. You can never stop learning in trucking. I don't give a damn if you drove 50 years, 40 years, 20 years, 30 years. Every day is a new day. You're always learning something. There's not one day that's the same as the last day or yesterday or tomorrow. Every day is a new day in learning. Every day is a new day in trucking. This goes for my OGs, my vets, my newbies, my future drivers, potential drivers. The drivers who stay compliant avoids shutdowns, fines, and forced time off. The ones who understand FMCSA updates become better trainers, business owners, or team leads. All I'm trying to say to you, driver, is at the end of the day, staying informed is like checking your blind spot. You might think you're good, but one missed rule can take your whole truck out the lane. Knowledge ain't optional. It's protection. We don't just drive out here, cousin. We study. We ask questions. We keep our plates clean and our logbooks cleaner. That's how you stay in the game. And not just this year, but for the long haul.
Dial it up, static fades, real talk in the waves, backseat confessions, life's messy but it plays. Lady luck spinning beats hot like a flame. Stories hit harder than
This part of the show is called Honey Hive Check-In, where some of our cousins call into the hive and vent, drop a motivational line, or just simply want to holler at your favorite cousin. This week I asked, what moment in trucking made you stop and rethink everything? Was it a breakdown, a burnout, a health scare? Baby, y'all did not hold back either. Let's tap into our very first cousin, Mike from Memphis. He said, I caught COVID on the road back in 21. Was laid up in the hospital for 2 weeks. I ain't never looked at this industry the same. I still drive, but now I pace myself. My health gon' ride first. Whew, say that, Mike. See, sometimes we don't pull over till life forces us to. But the lesson, that's where the gold is at. All right, let's hear from another one of our cousins. This next one's from Jazz out of Indiana. She says, after my miscarriage, I realized I ain't been prioritizing me. I love trucking, but I ain't gonna die for it. I know that's right. That's deep. And that's why we got the high. We share the raw so we can heal together. So if you are listening right now, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I carrying that's heavier than this freight? Drop a comment in the comment section down below and let us know how you feel. If you would like to be a guest on our next episode of the Backseat with Ladiiee, hit up that Honey Hive hotline and we can talk about it. All you got to do is pick up that phone and dial 943-267-1758. You never know. You might hear yourself on the next episode. Sponsorship slots are now open. To sponsor our next episode, email me at ladyluckproductions@gmail.com or hit our Honey Hive hotline or DM me on Instagram at lady_luck333_. Let's partner up and make the mic work for the both of us. Whether you're repping gear, tea services, dispatch training, a food brand, or your own podcast, if it's real, I'll help you push it. Sponsorship spots are now open for our next episode, and this is your chance to get your brand in front of loyal drivers and tribe members, content creators, and go-getters who stay tapped in and tuned in. If you got a product, a brand, services, or a business that's built for the road, made for the culture, or speaks to the hustle, and this is your moment to shine. The Backseat with Ladiiee is where real truckers, entrepreneurs, dreamers, and everyday riders pull up to talk that real life, legacy, and leveling up. Some people think that stepping back means giving up, but real ones know that it takes more strength to stop than it does to keep breaking yourself for a check. CDL Shorty didn't lose the will. He gained wisdom. And if he can find purpose on the other side of heart failure, imagine what you can find on the other side of fear, burnout, or silence. So wherever you are right now, cousin, whether you're on the road, in the shop, or in your own season of sitting still, know this: your story ain't over. Your mission don't expire. And your next chapter might be your realest one yet. If you got something on your chest or something on your heart or something you need to share, the hotline is always open. And just like that, we wrapping up another wild ride in the back. Big shout out to my guy CDL Shorty for keeping it raw, real, and rebellious like only he can. From calling out the mess to breaking down the stress. This episode was for every driver who's tired of the fluff and ready for the facts. Whether you vibing with FMCSA update or just trying to stay 10 toes down in the game, remember this road don't love nobody, but knowledge will keep you in the seat long. So keep them logbooks tight, your mindset tighter, and never let this industry silence your voice. Until next time, cousin, keep your spirit in drive and your hustle in overdrive. This is the Backseat with your favorite cousin, Ladiiee. Mind the business that pays you, and we'll see you in the next drop. 10-4, cousin.